Always got a little company here.
Looks like we got company.
Looks like we got company.
Don't you what you do?
Uh-oh, we got company.
Uh-oh, fellas. We got company.
Uh-oh, we've got company.
Uh-oh, we got company.
I love it.
Little Star Wars.
That's a key.
There's some Star Wars.
Family Guy.
Family Guy. There is some random Russian movie.
Of course.
And Robin Hood Men in Tights. Dave Chappelle. That was Chappelle on there.
Never seen it.
It's hilarious.
I like it.
It's hilarious.
Sure.
Well, we've got company.
I guess I'm that company.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First off, who's the GOAT?
Ooh,
That's
goat?
I
In what
asked
sport?
this to. It's only one sport when you ask that question. it's basketball. I asked that to all our guests.
Well, for me, the GOAT would have to be the late great Kobe Bryant.
Oh,
Really?
that's a.
I've obviously people do the comparison between Jordan and LeBron, but for me, growing up, Kobe has been like my idol and things like that. And I got all his shoes, and just I always like his mentality, and things like that. How he approached the game, how he does it, how he does his work ethic and things like that. So
Okay.
I follow that, and obviously behind that is LeBron and Michael. Because Michael, I wasn't born during this time, so I can't be like, oh yeah, Michael. But when I wasn't even born, well, I was born, but early in my years and things like that. So
I get it.
I dig it. I'm not mad
I
at it,
see why you two get along.
bro. I'm
'Cause you're a
telling you,
Kobe
like,
Bro, you were
I'm
checking
telling
a
you,
lot of boxes for this guy.
Right.
bro, it's good with
Go
me.
hang out, exchange numbers.
Hey, bro,
I got you.
Whenever you want my spot on the show, is yours. Like you can have it.
I got you.
You could do no wrong in Breeze's
No,
eyes
we're
right
good.
now.
Honestly, I don't care what happens after this.
All right, so obviously, you played football at Lakewood, and that essentially was a vehicle for you to achieve a lot of things that you achieved in your life.
Yep.
Talk about your influences as far as who pushed you into that direction to want to play football.
Oh, well, football was like always a lifestyle for me. It wasn't something that I kind of like looked or saw myself using this as a something to propel myself into the career I have right now. It was always fun. I used to play soccer, basketball, but playing football was just something different. Being able to run, hit, put your aggressions out there and things like that. So obviously watching it on TV, you start to pick up on new things, starting to learn and develop, and then having the coaches, the peers, the friends, to build that team camaraderie that you had, kind of like made the game even more that I love. So that's why I had to put away soccer, put away basketball, and kind of like, hey, this is my sport right here. And it started when I was like maybe 8, 9, maybe 10, because back then I was such a fast guy, just running, running, kicking the ball for soccer and things like that. But just being able to have that I guess that itch for football, I started just like, all right, let me stop playing. Like, this is
Right.
I felt like I was good at this and I can really, do something out of it and things like that. And it parlayed to, who I am right now.
Nice.
So was there like a particular for me, it was Peter Wart for me. When I first saw him ran a 15-yard comeback in the swamp, took it to the house. I wore number 9 at Lakewood because of him, and I played receiver because of him. Was it like a particular guy, maybe a family member, or a NFL player that you watched on TV or even college that you kind of looked up to?
Well, yeah, for me it was Michael Vick. Everybody had the Vick shoes. I was rocking them, even though I was playing like wide receiver and defensive back in little league and things like that. But I did have my little shine at quarterback, and I felt like I could run, throw just like Vic and things like that. Wasn't left-handed, but he was kind of like something that was like, hey, I want to be just like that guy. I want to be like Mike Vick.
I like that. Yeah.
Mike Vick. But so I definitely looked up to him, and especially not that I played the position, but something that, hey, I got to watch this guy play because it's always like a highlight tape when he's out there on the field. So yeah, that was me.
That's actually a great pick. I legit was just watching a highlight of Mike Vick in the '99 championship against Florida State. That was like one of the best Florida State defenses out there, and they couldn't do anything with that man.
It was annoying. It was annoying.
It was extremely annoying.
I got a question for you, man. As far as like your Lakewood experience, since we on the Lakewood tip, I feel like right now the guys coming out of Lakewood, have a much bigger platform. And I feel like guys like back when you played and guys who came before you, like y'all really had to grind to try to get those opportunities because Lakewood wasn't a known name, I felt like back then. Like for basketball maybe, but for football it wasn't. So do you feel like there's a big difference now, or do you feel like you're like, nah, I got my opportunities, they getting the same opportunities? And
yeah, it's a big difference. I want to say, and I can always reference back to when I was, I think my junior year, and with Coach Moore and things like that. It's like his third year with him, so I was kind of like, Coach Moore was the head coach of the football team, and like so I actually got to see him develop and grow, and to the program to be what it is now. And I could think back to when I asked him, like, Coach, what is better to be, like the foundation of the program or the finished product? And so, I still reference that. And, at the time, I was proud that I was able to be one of the first, Coach Moore's first, to build something that it is now. So obviously creating those opportunities for what the people that comes in after me and things like that, like that's something I'm proud of. Like even though I'm like, dang, I wish social media, the NIL, this and that. But I made the best of what I had then, and as long as the people that come behind me do the same thing of there are better opportunities right now that they have, and go out there and prove it and propel themselves to a league or whatever they become, I'm okay with it because I know I was the foundation to help boost the program to where it is right now. So
cool. Can I piggyback on that real quick?
Absolutely.
That's a fantastic. You don't get those kind of answers a lot.
Yeah, no. This is, and that's why I want to dig in a little bit more, right? You talk about opportunities, right? So like we have conversations. We know guys like young cats coming up in the city, and I'd be like, yo, go to the camps. I'm like, we do 707, like do it. Like, do you feel like is that stuff as important as it is, or is it just hey, show up on Fridays and ball?
Oh no, it's definitely work that you do outside of the I guess the 12-10 game season that that high school has and things like that. So for me, it was around the clock. You had the football fall season, then you go to your spring season, or start like doing camps. Obviously, back then we had the 707 with your school. But now you got 707, with your count, you can have different clubs and things like that. So, now they're making the football more, year round and things like that. You can be able to travel and do this and that. So no, it's not just on the fall, when football picks up, or the summer when you start football and things like that. Is having that trainer, having the different leagues or the travel AAU teams that they have, now to be able to get that exposure, and just follow after that. And they have the opportunities
to kind of, sorry not to cut you off, but to kind of touch on that. When I was playing, just the fact of getting your tape is different now. Like you had to actually get a CD and find somebody you got to get the tapes from your coach. Get a guy to get a CD and make you a highlight tape. You can just create an account on Huddle now and just drop your highlight tapes.
You don't have to do that.
Create your own highlight tape.
Well, I did the Huddle thing, but now you just with a phone or with whatever, you put that thing on IG. And,
it's accessible.
I guess to follow up on that, do you feel like now you make a good point about putting in a lot of grind, right? So, you have to do more to get your face out there, to get your work out there. Where do you think that now the kids kind of see where, all right, it's kind of easy, and I'm the guy, I don't have to work as hard? Do you see that more? Do you feel like that's an issue now? Because again, a lot of guys are getting exposure at Lakewood or just around the city, period. But do you still see the same work ethic from when you were coming up or when Unc was there to what it is now?
Yeah, no. So and me and my one of my best friends, he's actually a coach in Georgia, high school, and like he trains a lot of high school kids and things like that. And everybody, obviously it's good to film your workouts and things like that, but it's a difference between like working and actually grinding. Like it's just take it. I'm on the field, getting this work in and things like that, and posting on social media. But did you really get better? Right. That's at the end of the day. Like, did you achieve what you accomplished? Like, did you work on your speed? Did you work on your technique and things like that? So actually, obviously, having somebody to film you and things like that, actually putting in that work, and it could be like a teaching, like for like the athletes that's like want to put their stuff out there on the film and things like that, but not just like, oh yeah, I'm out here just getting that work in and boom, 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 yeah, and then you just sitting down, for 30 minutes, you got there for an hour, just, get 15 minutes work done. So
I guess if you walked into a Lakewood a Lakewood locker room, and you knew that they had some 4-star, 5-star guys in there, would you advocate to them to not put that kind of stuff out there? Because that doesn't really show me much, right? If you can bench press a truck, but can you move the guy in front of you?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you understand leverage?
You understand leverage. You understand positions.
Yeah.
You understand boundaries. Do you know? Are you mentally there? You can put a whole bunch of tape out there if you're working out.
Yeah.
But then your game film shows that you didn't study the playbook.
No, exactly. So, like you said, it's as much as football is physical, it is the same as mental. So you definitely got to know that the field is 53 in the quarter of a length wide, and 110 or 20 yards of length. So you gotta prepare or know the tendencies of your opponent, things like that. And to piggyback off of knowing the tendencies, like that goes off the knowing what down the distance, knowing what your coach, if you play defense, whether he gonna call third downs and things like that, 2x2, what you got, because as I said, as much as the game is physical, it's more mental, and the game can slow down as much as or are in the books and things like that, because everybody's fast.
Right.
It's, what's gonna make you different than the person that you're going against is knowing where he's gonna go before he do go. So.
Or apparently a 30-minute workout tape.
Right. 15 of which you're actually working out. So obviously you played at the best school in the city. You played with a lot of guys. You played with Dante Fowler. You played with MVS. You played with Rodney Adams, the twins.
Yep.
Who was one guy that you stepped on the field with? I don't know if you played with Reed. Did you play with Reedy?
Oh yeah,
you played with Reedy. Yep. So who was one guy that you stepped on the field and he was just different?
Reedy, of course. Like
really, of all them names,
Fowler was the second overall pick.
Yeah, okay, but look at this. Me coming my first 2 years, Reedy was a junior. I was coming in as a freshman, but Reedy, like anything he touched, like he was scoring. It's like
that says a lot.
So for me to like just be like on the same team as him and just like Reedy catch the ball, touchdown. It was eye opening. I was like, yo, that's where I need to be, like, and things like that. So, but obviously, the person that's Dante man-child built, like he was ready to go to the league at sophomore year in high school. So, but yeah, of course, like those two people is the one that stand out. But Reedy was like number one because he always had the ball. He was boom.
All right, we said this forever ago. I don't know what we were talking about. We were like, if Reedy was playing now, he would have way more attention and way more opportunities than he did back then. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, no, for
okay.
Sure.
If he was 2 inches taller, he would have gotten an offer from Florida State back in the day. It don't matter about now. It's just back then. It was. I get what you're saying with exposure.
Yeah, I just feel like some of them cats didn't get the opportunity to really get to shine, and Reedy's probably the biggest one. Like huge fan. I'm cool with him. Real cool dude. I just felt like he had so much talent.
Yeah.
And he had a great, really good college career. Made it to the league, years in the league, multiple years.
Yep.
A lot of guys don't get multiple years in the league. So he had a great career. So I'm not saying that he didn't, max out potential, but I just felt like he deserves more shine than what he even got.
Nah, I'm telling you, my first 2 years in high school, like, you just get the ball to Reedy, and we was good.
Okay.
So
It's crazy because I only played with him for 2 years, and me and him was tied like week 4 in touchdowns, and we was at the water fountain, and he was like, I'm about to take off on y'all. Next game, 3 touchdowns. Next game, 2 touchdowns. He just took off.
Yeah.
And I was stuck at 5 touchdowns.
And Reedy was like that.
He was different.
yeah, that was was something different.
So to kind of push forward, you had the Lakewood experience, and you go to Champaign, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like? You're a Florida kid. It's cold. You don't know any of these people. It's Big Ten football, a Division I Big Ten football, the big stage. What was a freshman experience like going on that campus?
Oh man, it was different. Obviously, the one, being the Florida boy is just the seasons. Like he had once, after August leave, September come. Oh man, you better have them jackets ready. Like experiencing, it was a good change for me because obviously you're living in Florida, you only deal with like maybe winter like once a week throughout the year and things like that. So being able to dress appropriately and know that there's more to your closet than just shorts and tees and things like that. You had to actually wear coats, get your shoes right, your snowshoes, whatever like that. But that transition from high school to college, I guess like the big thing was like time management, especially you got football in the morning, you got school, study hall, probably got film at night. Like you got to learn how to balance all that throughout the week. And then you want to have social life, so you want to make sure you get that done throughout the week, so you can have time to just chill and relax. Like if it's in season, I can't promise things that you're gonna be having chilling and things like that. But just using that time wisely to be able to get your work done, because you got a full ride. You don't want to miss the opportunity, for a good degree from a good school as well. So being able to make that flip that hey, I'm not in high school anymore. Like I can't do, I'm not the big man on campus. I got to kind of like, settle down to the way that, my mama taught me better than this, or, she, use that same skills or that, what she taught you, and apply that to, my life up there in Illinois and things like that. So that's what I did.
Well, okay. If I can jump in, it seemed like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it came down to Indiana and Illinois.
Oh yeah,
got that right?
Oh yeah,
because I saw you took the official to Indiana. So what was it about Illinois that won out over Indiana?
Oh man, I get that question a lot.
I feel like Pump want to answer this question.
Okay, so when I took my visit to University of Illinois, it was actually a blizzard when I got there. Like I flew into Chicago. I couldn't even make my connecting flight from Chicago to Champaign. That's like 3 hours. Yeah. So imagine being a blizzard. So it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive from there. But my position coach, he drove. Like I guess he heard that it was canceled, like that connecting flight, and he drove up to get me, and drove back in the snowstorm. I'm like, I can hear it, like my mom to this day, like she was yelling at my coach, "You left my baby in the fridge." This and that. So, first, for a coach to do that, like, that was already like, dang, you have to do that. Like, just kind of like throw your heads up, like, but for him to, 10 hours on the road, coming to get me and, coming back, was already like a plus in my books. And then on top of that, just like the family atmosphere, like some of the players, like still to this day, like I am in several group chats with like the players that I came in with, some of the players that was older than me, even the ones that was like my host for my visit. Like we still cool and things like that. So just being in that atmosphere, and they was like, it was kind of like already a brother. Like I was already there. Like it just felt like I should just go here and commit. So that's why I chose them. I'm glad I chose for the friends and things like that, because coaches end up leaving. Like a lot of the coaches end up leaving. But being able to have something of why I stayed. Yes, it's a great school. Yes, these are the people that I literally is my brother. So being able to stay with them, and even though we had coaches change, but we kind of like the core, kind of like us. We was like, yeah, we're gonna grind, we're gonna get through it and things like that. So yeah.
And I've always wondered. I mean, we had this conversation before on some episodes way back about a lot of local talent going other places, like up north, right? Going to Indiana, going to Illinois, and it's like, did you ever feel, I guess, weird about not getting more attention from schools closer?
USF.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not like mad at them, but it was just like what they was doing.
Yeah,
I mean, say that.
It's a lot of talent like here, just in this, in the city, and they just skip past it, and they go other places and things like that. But I can't answer for them, but I'm glad that being able to get out and experience other cultures, and how live in other places and things like that. It was big. I learned a lot.
True.
I hate that. I went to USF, and I feel like USF for decades has completely dropped the ball on recruiting Tampa Bay first. Now, Alex Golesh, the new coach, I feel like he's been doing it.
Yep.
I've been seeing him more local, but like even Willie recruited South Florida more than he did Tampa Bay, really.
And Alex Golesh, he was the one who recruited me at Illinois.
Really?
Yep. Wow.
That's crazy how that comes full circle.
Yep.
That's what's up.
So actually, he recruited me. He recruited Reedy. Then he recruited me when he was at Toledo. I took a visit there. Then he went to Illinois. He still recruited me.
Okay.
Went to Illinois.
I need some 411 on Golesh then, man. Because I like the hire. We can talk about it later.
I know Golesh. He's a great recruiter. Let me just say that. Like he is, hands down one of the best. Okay. And he's a hard worker. Like I saw him, like he was a tight ends, or he was a recruiting coordinator, tight ends coach. He kind of like went through the growing pains and things like that. So to see a coach take Tennessee to one of the top, could have been playing for something bigger, to now he's like running his own show. Like he really deserves that.
All right.
Deserves that shot.
Cool.
Hopefully USF get that stadium.
Yeah, I mean they say they put a down payment down. they say they put down a down
So
payment.
you have to pay.
Yeah, don't do that. It was Klarna.
Real talk though. Hopefully some of that trickles down, because I hate to see a lot of local talent get out of this area, get taken from. I mean, it seems like there's like this little Midwest pipeline now. Iowa State,
Yep.
and it's like, well, if you can keep these boys home, I'm trying to think of like the last guy local that stayed semi-local.
Well, the Twins went to UCF.
Okay, so UCF
Yeah.
and then
Valdez
MLS?
came back home. Yeah, he went to Valdez went to North Carolina State. Then
Oh
came
yeah, he
back.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
MLS
Obviously
came
Murph
back.
went to Florida.
Yeah, and then you had playing on the DN. You just said his name.
Dante.
Dante went to Florida.
Went to Florida.
Florida, yeah.
I feel like that's like what 4 or 5 names
Rodney
out of
Adams.
Not enough.
But
again, not enough.
and again, Alex Golesh, like he specialized in this area. He recruits. He recruited heavily when he was outside, like in different at different schools. Like he was like here, like so he knows this like back in his
It's a
hand.
gold mine here.
Yeah, exactly. So
He must keep tabs on him a little. Well, no, that would have been after he left already, because there was and I'm blanking on bro name. He went to Georgia. He was a receiver. Went to Georgia, ended up transferring to Toledo.
Landers.
Yeah. Matt Landers. So I wonder if Golesh was still there, and maybe Golesh was like, "Hey, you went to Georgia first time. Like, come holler at me in Toledo."
he probably did. Like coaches, do. I mean, nowadays you keep an eye on the transfer portal. So if it's a kid that you missed out on the first time, see his name. Hey man,
Yeah.
you get a shot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we know your life isn't all about sports and all about football. So before I get into the a business question, what was like your wake up, welcome to Big Ten moment? Did you get hit? Did you somebody boss you?
Yeah. So it has to be on special teams. We was playing at Soldier Field. We was playing University of Washington, UW, as they say.
Field.
Yeah, terrible field. But I'm running down on kickoff, and like, man, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a free. Like on the board, like throughout the week, coach be like, oh yeah, you free. Never believe that. Like, oh yeah, you free. Never believe that. Like you gonna be the free hitter. Man, ran down on kickoff, and this dude, like on film, you see the dude eyeing me the whole time.
Man, what?
And I'm running down like boom. Pass first wave, I'm free. Okay, coach, I'm free. I'm free. Man, I get about 5 yards from the ball. Dude come in and wax me. Like wax me. I get up. I run the opposite way. Thinking the ball went that way. I'm like, oh, the ball. So it was like, yeah. My point is never believe. I mean, for all the athletes out there, hey, coach be like, oh yeah, you gonna be the free hitter. Never believe that.
All right, I gotta ask one. Who in your time there? Who do you think is the best player you got a chance to either play with, play against? Your time up there.
It had to be like Zeke was like that. Zeke and Saquon, yeah, they was
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw
That
Saquon. Yeah, I saw Saquon hurdle a person standing straight up. Like,
Okay.
So So yeah, I was, and then Cardell Jones, he had hurdled me standing straight up.
No.
too. So, yeah. He had on the profile picture. Yeah,
Oh no, he
Whoa.
put you on the. No, come on,
I gotta
man.
look that up.
I was tight.
Cover of the show.
Yeah, I was tight. I was tight when you put that on that man. But yeah, he like I was trying to go for his knees. I'm about to lunge. He was already up in the air.
Well, Carter wasn't little though.
Oh, no.
He wasn't little. So I get you.
I'm going for straight shoestrings.
Yeah,
like, I'm not-
yeah.
Like,
You're not trying to hit him up
yeah,
top.
Nah, hell nah. Do what? Like he's bigger than my lineman. Like what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, Cardell was big. Okay.
So yeah, he straight hurdled me. Like shit was terrible. I felt embarrassed after that, man. It was at Ohio State too, so you know, obviously the crowd was into
the crowd
it.
goes crazy. Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah.
And we mentioned that you got your MBA in international business.
Yes.
So what made you make that transition into focusing on that? Because you graduated with your sociology degree at Illinois, but then you transferred and you got your MBA in international business. What was the thought process behind that?
So when I transferred, I started my master's program at Richmond, and then like it was just like going to be a regular MBA, and I guess I made the decision, transfer my credits to Nova and get MBA in international business because I don't know, I like to travel. Love to travel, especially during football. City to city. Doing you could do work like your classwork, but still get to see the sights of the city and things like that. So it was already in mind that hey, I think I can want to do something that involves me traveling, dealing with different cultures and dealing things outside of the U.S. because obviously you can I didn't know it was gonna parlay like this, but you can definitely do business in in your own house internationally as well.
Right.
So so I was already on the forefront trying to create something that could be a international kind of type of business feel to it. So I just I love to learn. During the time I learned about developing markets, I make a joke to my girl like, hey, I think my one of my professors, he was like an international finance teacher, and I was like, I think he used to be a drug dealer or something. Like he knew like how to launder money, like why, like yo, I'm
Can't put it past.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is some A1 type of course that he was teaching, but I was able to parlay that into like now being able to think differently of how things should transaction and things like that. So
Can you slide me his number after the?
I got to look him up, but I got to find him.
The biggest crooks in this country are not the people peddling drugs on the corner. Those are not the biggest crooks in this country.
That's
so
too
I believe
obvious.
it's the business owners, the big business guys, and the politicians. They're the biggest crooks, man.
Yeah, the way he broke things down, I'm like, oh shit, this
You know something.
I get it. Yeah,
You know
I get it.
something.
It's like some power. Like he's right.
It's like some power.
So a lot of people don't know you're the reason why these turned into cans. What was the thought process behind convincing Jared to turn? Basically, it was his idea, right?
Yeah, it's his baby.
This is his baby.
Yes,
and when
it is.
you're a first time business owner and you came up with something that you think is the product that's gonna get you big.
Yeah.
How did you convince him to kind of transition into cans?
It wasn't easy.
And what was the thought process
Right,
behind it?
Okay, so the thought process behind it is, it's already a mix, type of drink and things like that. So, back then, 2018, it was like, the White Claws was kind of like hitting the market and things like that. So, I was like, I was joking, saying, but being serious, like, yo, I think we should, go into cans and things like that. So, he's like, nah, this is. I was like, yeah, I understand. Let's just stick with the cans, and plus we have the resources and things like that. So, you just look and you're like, dang, like these cans, this and that, but all of them is like seltzers, like obviously heavily carbonated, and not like a cocktail like it is in the bottle. We can just literally transfer that into a can and we be golden. So it wasn't until 2021 when we partnered with our AB wholesaler, and he connected us with somebody that can like do the cans. I was like, hey, let's actually do this. Let's do this, man. Let's actually do it. And we had some growing pains, knowing what type of percentage to go into. Like You know, it was one time we was like, yo, let's put 20% in the cans.
I like it.
You trying to crank them up?
Wait, don't just blow past that. Why not?
Well, there's a reason though, right?
Yeah, it's okay. 20% is straight rubbing alcohol, like in the can. Like
Yeah.
I don't
like
see the
nah.
problem.
That's
yeah. Nah, you have
yeah.
like
It's you. You're Jamaican though, so
you have
My apologies.
You have probably one, like maybe not even half. Like you probably wouldn't even get through it because I tried it. I was like, man, what's the flavor like?
Oh, it was too strong. It didn't
Yeah.
have the because you said you wanted to be a cocktail.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we 20. We had we had 3 options. The chemist did. She did the 20. She did a 15, 10, and like an 8 or something like that. So we tried them all, and it was like, I don't know, man. Like we settled on the 10, which we had on the market for a brief while. And it was like it's kind of a lot of explaining to do because it's kind of thick, the ingredients and things like that, and it's kind of hard to explain to customers or people that was consuming it that hey, this is made with real pineapple and cranberry and things like that, which is everybody is like so in tune that everything being like kind of like the seltzers and things like that, it's just easier to drink.
It's not so
like
thick.
That. So yeah, but in my eyes, I didn't think anything of it. But I had to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, hey, we got to thin the process out, and that's what we settled on 5.9. Kind of like revamping, making things more easier to consume to the customers and things like that. So that was in summary the process of how we settled on 5.9. Just because we wanted to compete, but we also wanted to be able to grow and expand our target market. So, in the state of Florida, if we're under 6, we are able to be everywhere, like corner stores, gas stations, box stores, pizzerias, like you name it. Whatever carries, whatever store or account carries a beer and wine license, because 6% they fall up on it. It doesn't matter if they if it's a rum. It's still considered a wine in the state of Florida. Other states, it's different. But in the state of Florida, which is our home market and what we want to settle on, we want to make sure that we are able to grow and expand our target market and be able to get in places like that. Because a lot of places,
loopholes.
a lot of places on the beach, you might have maybe one liquor store, but it's several corner stores, gas stations, you name it.
Yeah.
Like, just like little like dive bars, or it's not even dive bars, but like little like, just spots that is like, oh, they got beer and wine. But we can easily come in there now and be like, hey, we are a spirit that can fall up under here and, obviously, as I said, grow and expand our target market and things like that. So
That's brilliant. Is it bad that I'm like listening to everything he's saying?
You're taking mental notes.
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm also like referencing to like drug references, like how he was cutting his product.
Yeah, it's bad.
Call it. What do you say to him? Call it red magic.
Yeah, I don't care what you call it, but don't let me catch you.
No, that's beautiful.
No, it's funny because when I got into the game, I was I was doing the I was talking to my friends like that, that's outside of the liquor industry. And I was like, yeah, I got to talk to my distro. They were like, who are you talking to? Like, what you doing? like, yeah, I got to talk to my distro. This is that. And they was like, yo, all right, Ghost. Like,
Moving weight.
You got a shipment coming in.
Hey man, gotta talk to the plug, talk to the neck. I like
Chemist? Is it at a chemist? Cooking it up?
Cook, clean.
What are we doing right now?
This is a family
That's
show.
funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, cocaine is a family business.
Okay.
All right, wormhole.
What?
Hey man, you got any other business ventures you want to talk about? Anything that you want to put out there for people to know?
All right. So, me and my girlfriend, she's out banging. So obviously,
Pause.
Like she repping the set?
Pause that.
She repping the set?
No, continue.
That too. I mean, you could be set trips.
Yeah,
No set
she
tripping
repping the
here either.
set?
She out hustling.
Rolling 20?
No, she's Albanian, so she's born and raised, in Europe and everything like that.
Oh, she's Albanian.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
out banging. Like, I mean,
no, Albanian.
No,
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear
It
it.
sounded like you said out banging. It's like
I'm like, is she
Albanian.
No,
Okay.
Albanian. Got it.
GD, BSP? Like, what we?
Right, I thought she slamming rakes like
Nah.
My apologies.
So, no, you good. But so she moved here when she was 12, and obviously, when the world comes together. Me with my international business, I was like, yo, let's go back to your home country and start investing into some property because they are a emerging market. So we are in the process of looking into places, trying to build a estate out there, own a few bars, restaurants, or whatever like that. Because
I love it.
That's gas.
If you see the land out there, like I said, it's an emerging market. If you invest right now, you can get 10 times, 15 times more, once, things start developing, and especially when they get into the, EU and, have that status and things like that. So we're looking.
You trying to take over the world.
That's gas, bro.
Absolutely.
I like
That's next level stuff.
so yeah, it's
just Lakewood.
right. Just being excellent.
Yeah. So that's something that we have on tap.
I like that.
And so, and I don't know if Jared told you guys that that we signed a deal agreement with an exporter, in the Gulf region, which is Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Europe and things like that. He can get us into those regions and things like that. So obviously, my background, international business, is coming to fruition, and
Come on, man.
I'm happy to lead that venture, that charge, and obviously with the cans and things like that. So yeah, that's just some what we have.
It's beautiful when you can actually use your degree. A lot of people don't use their degrees. Man.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like that's a beautiful thing, man, and especially when you had that vision, and whatever it was that led you into saying, all right, let me actually do this because I can do a lot with this.
Yeah.
It's great when it comes and loops all together, man. So
because I didn't like even though it's like I could have just went and got the MBA. Like it's just in MBA, international business, pretty much the same thing as it's like a regular MBA, but you learn like different culture how business
it's not the same thing.
Like a regular.
Do you have one? Do you have MBA?
Nope.
Nah, it's not the same.
That's not the same. No, and I say that because when you throw that international, then yes, you would know what it means.
Yeah.
But when you throw certain words on there, like I know the difference between a master's and a PhD. For a lot of people, it's really not that drastic of a difference.
Yeah.
But put a PhD at the end of your name,
It's
it's
a different
it's like
ballgame.
you're here.
Carries a different way.
Yeah, it carries a different weight. So you slang that international around.
Yeah. No, so
you slap that thing on the table.
So yeah, I got much more exposure to how obviously different things are conducted on a larger scale, how the world works.
Yeah.
And things like that. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. We just met, but I feel comfortable enough to say that I'm proud of you. We just met,
extremely.
Yeah,
but
100%.
you're doing a lot, man, and that's to be commended. It's good that younger kids could see a guy like you that comes from the same parts that you come from and achieving all of this at a young age. So it's commendable.
Yeah, and just to say something real quick, like I'm not there yet.
Right, but you're going there.
Yeah,
You're on the way.
I like to celebrate, the accomplishments, but obviously there's more out there to be had. Like I want that and more. Like
I like it.
You know what that is, right? That's Kobe. Work's not done.
It's not done.
You two should get together.
I get it.
Oh, we gonna rap.
Exchange
Yeah,
information.
we gonna rap.
Got you.
Guys, you got anything else for him?
No, I hope that I hope that Lakewood kids, I just say everybody, but again, when you have an opportunity, it's not everybody that gets to go to a 4-year university, right? No matter where you go, take advantage of that opportunity, right? You had a God-given talent, and you use that talent to get to where you are today.
Yeah.
Right now, if everybody has an ambition to go to the league, whatever, at some point you might say, I might not get there.
Yeah.
And you still take advantage of of what you're getting, and you did that times 10. So Lakewood aside, St. Pete aside, like just to hear your story, I'm with Unc. I'm proud of you too, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
All right, enough of that emotional stuff.
All right, cool. Yep.
Well, and can I close out and say
Close it out.
Yeah, close
Floor
it
is
out.
yours.
with saying that one of my biggest things that I learned throughout college is my coach always put out this thing called POAs, point of attack. Is you could be on the field for 50 plays. You can do great, whatever like that. But when the plays come at you, what is your percentage? So usually if you ball come your way 5 times and you make 3, did you grade out? Yes, no, or if you made 2, you don't grade out. So with the POAs, and this is how I apply it to like what I do right now. What am I doing when things come at me? Am I ready for the opportunity or am I not? So I do it my best to make sure I'm ahead of the game. Like I tell Jared, I'm got a bullet in the chamber, just in case anything comes up. We got to answer to the problem. So just being consistent and staying on top of your game is what and studying because that's what I've been going through. My 5 years through playing football, knowing your competition, knowing how to handle adversity and things like that. So, making sure that, your POA is a point of action, a point of attack, you grade out accordingly. You want to be 5 for 5, even though, the whole year, 2023, 365 days, like, yeah, you lived it, but you probably have like 30 opportunities to do something about it. What was the results of that? Things like that. So, just living by that, living by the standard and keeping yourself accountable is definitely, I want to leave a message to, people that listen to the podcast. But, whatever's done during your off time, just make sure, sharpen your tools because you can always get better. Things like that.
That's the clip for the TikTok. Cut that right there. That's it. That's it for the
Mamba
TikTok.
out. Drop the mic.
Yeah, that's the one. That's money.
Hey, I can't follow that up, so we'll go ahead and take a break. And we'll talk some NBA. Is LeBron ruining the All-Star game?
Here we go.